Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from 11 Science 8. Now we will presentation about natural hazard volcanic eruption.
Okay, so I'll be your first provider of the material today. So let's go with the opening segment. What is a natural hazard? In this case, I will take a common term that is natural hazard is a threat of a naturally occurring event that has a possible negative effect on humans. But on the behalf of others, there is a natural disaster which has a different meaning. There is it occurs when a natural hazard occurs and significantly harm and damage the community that we are in. So then I will tell you about the volcanic eruption and how does it happen. So in the first phase, volcanic eruptions occur when the molten material inside the Earth's interior is extruded to the surface through the volcanic mountains, main fronts. And those molten material is a mix of hardened materials and gases, which we call magma. And magma is formed right below the Earth's crust. That is in the second layer of the Earth, and magma is formed when there is a rupture in the Earth's crust, which enabling the seawater to come in and lower the melting point inside the second layer. The resulting phase is the magma in its liquid form. Okay, so this is the second slide. I will tell you about the condition that enabling the volcanic eruption in common cases. So if the temperature and pressure is higher than usual, material like sulfur and water will dissolve in the magma phase. Instead, they will form a high pressure bubbles that will cause a buoyant force. If the force is high enough, the pressure in the magma chamber will rise up and push the magma out. If that happens, the magma from the second layer will flow in space between rocks and eventually reach up into a chamber called the magma chamber. The magma chamber is located inside the volcanic mountains, and usually it is caused when the bubble that I said before, that has reached the magma chamber, and it will likely cause the magma to flow to the main vent, eventually blowing the magma up to the surface of the Earth. And then I will tell you about the factor. What is the factor that affects the volcanic eruption? In this case, the factor that affects the tendency to erupt, there is two. There are the lithostatic pressure and the magmastatic pressure. And the lithostatic pressure is the pressure caused by the weight of the Earth's crust relative to the second layer. Meanwhile, the magmastatic pressure is the pressure caused by the heat or the temperature of the magma inside the second layer. So what is the relationship to the volcanic eruption? So in this case, the lithostatic pressure and the magmastatic pressure will cause an equilibrium in the border of the crust and second layer. So they will push each other up, and then those two will keep balancing each other. But during the time when there is a time when the magmastatic will be higher than the lithostatic pressure, and it will make an eruption more likely to occur because it pushes the magma out and through the rocks and going into the earth crust and into the magma chamber. Such an example is a shift in the tectonic plate that is causing an earthquake. And this is just a fun fact. Did you know that earthquakes and volcanoes commonly occur in the boundaries of the tectonic plates? In this case, we have an image here that is called a ring of fire. This is an area that is a horseshoe shape, In the Pacific Ocean, more active volcanoes and frequent earthquakes occur. It will be going to the next provider of the material, Farras.
So, hello everyone. Now I'm gonna explain how is the effect of volcanic eruptions. So, volcanic eruptions can affect many things like climate change. How? So, volcanic eruptions can impact climate change through emitting volcanic gases like sulfur dioxide, which cause global cooling, and volcanic carbon dioxide, which has the potential to promote global warming. Obviously, volcanic eruptions also can cause multiple health threats on the proximity of volcano, the community, and whether there was some warning. Volcanic eruptions can cause suppression, infectious disease such as meningitis, acute and chronic respiratory disease from falling ash and breathing gas and fumes, burns and traumatic injuries, ANC irritation, food and water contamination. As an economic cause from the eruption can also be the risk of food and water contamination and compromise the service like water, transportation, communication, and health service. Likewise, the accumulation of ash on roofs can cause damage or collapse of buildings both immediately and after the event.
Okay, next I will presentation about types of volcanoes. There are three types of volcanoes that are known to many people. The first one is cinder cone volcanoes. The second one is composite volcanoes or stratovolcanoes, and the third one is shell volcanoes. Next. Okay, first I will tell you about what is cinder cones volcanoes. Cinder cones are the most common type of volcano in the world. It means we will find cinder cones in every place. Cinder cones are more technically known as scoria cones. Most cinder cones are a few hundred, 100 feet tall, 100 to 150 meters, and rarely are larger than 600 to 900 feet or 200 to 300 meters in age. Each cinder cone usually is its own edifice built up around a central bank. And the example from cinder cones is on a Wizard Island in Federal National Lake Park and others. Next. The next one is stratovolcanoes. Composite volcanoes can be the most pictures of all volcanoes. A classic composite volcano is conical with a concave shape that is steeper near the top, like this picture. And they may have multiple vents, but most composite cones have a main vent at the summit. Active composite volcanoes usually have a shallow magma chamber at depths of 3 until 9 miles or 5 until 10 kilometers. And the example from stratovolcanoes in Indonesia are Sinabung Mountain, Merapi Mountain, and others. Next. And the last one, I will tell you about shield volcanoes. Although shield volcanoes are the largest volcanoes on Earth, they do not form soaring mountains with conical peaks. Like composite volcanoes, shield volcanoes have very gentle slopes of only a few percent that become even more gentle than the summit. The example from shield volcanoes is Mauna Loa in Hawaii. Okay, next. Okay, in the last slide, I will tell you what our conclusion about these volcanic eruptions. First, it is a threat of a naturally occurring event that has a possible negative effect on humans. The negative effect on humans can make that humans die or something like that. So hopefully humans can create a new technology that can help humans to adapt to volcanic eruptions. Although volcanic eruption has a negative effect on humans, but on the opposite, volcanic eruptions can help the nature because it could make the land fertile, thus help the animal growth in the future. Okay? So, I think this is the last our presentation on this semester.
I think this is all from us. I'm Hadian.
Mochammad Reviadi.
I'm Naufal.
Thank you for your attention and see you
See you
later.
later.